Most people, at least I think in the general area of like what you would consider middle class, maybe a little lower than middle class, a little above middle class, are stuck in this weird trap, which is I work till I'm 40 or 50, till my kids are going to college. Now I'm paying for their college, but just at that moment, my parents are getting sick. Mm-hmm. So now I'm in debt on the college for the kids while also maybe going into a little bit of a debt for the parent. So now everything that you built up, all that equity over those 20 years of work is gone.
Yeah.
And what you really could have used was education that didn't cost so much, maybe some care, maybe some elder care, something that connects to your life.
And it feels like we live in a place where that seems like it should be possible.
For decades, Jon Stewart has brushed off calls for him to run for office. But as the political climate grows darker, his rejections sound a little less certain.
What's wrong in rural America? Come up with plans that will address that, and you will improve your chances in those areas. Not, what if we all curse more like regular people? Like, that's what's them up. And by the way, I was on the vanguard of that cursing thing. I just want to point that out.
You were.
So who's voting for me? Come on, guys. Who's with me?
I'm interested. You had said a couple of concerning things. I think that you're better than some of the names being thrown out there, I guess I would say. So creative ideas considered from my standpoint.
That idea of fetishizing the little guy and we the people, when in fact the opposite has occurred and the Supreme Court has empowered really this kind of much more authoritative processing of all those avenues. And in some respects, then it comes down to, is the answer the Democratic Party's ripe for a takeover? And they just need to find the right reality host that can get in there and start lining up all of those interests.
Please, no reality host. I beg of you.
Jeff Probst, maybe Jeff Probst, Survivor.
Unless John, you're thinking of throwing your hat in the ring, which I know many people want you to throw your hat in the ring. If that's what you're suggesting, we can talk about that. But
it's not the fragility of audiences, it's the fragility of leaders. You don't owe us anything as an audience. If we say you don't like, say back, do whatever you got to do. Don't get up and hit us. But that's just the game we're in. We talk for a living, you talk back, and we've just got to be better than you. And we've got to find a way to entertain you. But the threat to comedy doesn't change the world, but it's a bellwether. We're the banana peel in the coal mine. When a society is under threat, comedians are the ones who get sent away first. It's just a reminder to people that democracy is under threat. Authoritarians are the threat to comedy, to art, to music, to thought, to poetry, to progress, to all those things. It's never been, all that is a red herring. It ain't the pronoun police, it's the secret police. It always has been, and it always will be. And this man's decapitated visage is a reminder to all of us that what we have is fragile and precious. And the way to guard against it isn't to change how audiences think. It's to change how leaders lead.
Special effort to come on the show today because I have mentioned this show as being bad. Mm-hmm. It's not so much that it's bad as it's hurting America. So I wanted to come here today and say,
Wait.
Here's just what I wanted to tell you guys.
Yeah.
Stop. Stop hurting America. Okay. I watch your show every day, and it kills me.
I can tell you love it.
It's so painful to watch. Your partisan, what do you call it, hacks.
Wait, John,
You have a responsibility to the public discourse. And you fail miserably.
I think you're a good comedian. I think your lectures are boring.
You're on CNN. The show that leads into me is puppets making crank phone calls. What is wrong with you? It's someone who watches your show and cannot take it anymore. I just can't.
You need to get a job at a journalism
miserably.
school, I think.
You need to go to one. Now, this is theater. I mean, it's obvious.
No.
How old are you?
35.
and you wear a bow tie.
Yeah, I do. I do.
So,
I hate
so,
at all. I do think you're more fun on your show. Just my opinion.
But
okay, Jon Stewart goes one-on-one with his fans.
You're as big your show as you are on any show.
I would love to see Jon Stewart run in 2028. If we're talking about like a change agent coming from the outside that's really going to shake things up, and somebody that I feel like can speak to, you know, all people. Plus, we actually, he's a celebrity who actually knows what they're talking about. We've seen him get legislation and stuff, you know, passed before. Like, we know where his heart is. He'd be somebody I'd like to see really get in the race and disrupt things in 2028. You know,
well,
maybe a Jon Stewart Colbert ticket, because, you know, Colbert's not going to have a job.
Jon Stewart has seen firsthand how disgusting and corrupt politics is in Washington, D.C., having been instrumental in shaming politicians into signing the 9/11 Victim Compensation Fund.
The breathing problem started almost immediately, and they were told they weren't sick, they were crazy. And then, as the illnesses got worse and things became more apparent, well, okay, you're sick, but it's not from the pile. And then, when the science became irrefutable, okay, it's the pile. But this is a New York issue. I don't know if we have the money. And I'm sorry if I sound angry and undiplomatic, but I'm angry. And you should be too, and they're all angry as well. And they have every justification to be that way. There is not a person here, there is not an empty chair on that stage that didn't tweet out, "Never forget the heroes of 9/11. Never forget their bravery. Never forget what they did, what they gave to this country." Well, here they are. And where are they? And it would be one thing if their callous indifference and rank hypocrisy were benign, but it's not. Your indifference costs these men and women their most valuable commodity: time. It's the one thing they're running out of. This should be flipped. This hearing should be flipped. These men and women should be up on that stage, and Congress should be down here answering their questions as to why this is so damn hard and takes so damn long. And why, no matter what they get, something's always pulled back, and they got to come back. Mr. Johnson, you made a point earlier, and it was one that we have heard over and over again in these halls, and I couldn't help but to answer to it, which was, you said, look, you know, you guys are obviously heroes, and 9/11 was a big deal, but, you know, we have a lot of stuff here to do. And, you know, we got to make sure there's money for a variety of disasters, hurricanes and tornadoes. But this wasn't a hurricane, and this wasn't a tornado. And by the way, that's your job anyway. We can't fund these programs, you can. Setting aside that no American in this country should face financial ruin because of a health issue. Certainly 9/11 first responders shouldn't have to decide whether to live or to have a place to live. And the idea that you can only give them 5 more years of the VCF because you're not quite sure what's going to happen 5 years from now, well, I can tell you, I'm pretty sure what's going to happen 5 years from now. More of these men and women are going to get sick, and they are going to die. And I am awfully tired of hearing that it's a 9/11 New York issue. Al-Qaeda didn't shout death to Tribeca. They attacked America, and these men and women, and their response to it, is what brought our country back. It's what gave a reeling nation a solid foundation to stand back upon, to remind us of why this country is great, of why this country is worth fighting for. And you are ignoring them. And you can end it tomorrow. Why
Why this bill isn't unanimous consent and a standalone issue is beyond my comprehension. And I have yet to hear a reasonable explanation for why. It'll get stuck in some transportation bill or some appropriations bill and get sent over to the Senate, where a certain someone from the Senate will use it as a political football to get themselves maybe another new import tax on petroleum, because that's what happened to us in 2015. And we won't allow it to happen again. Thank God for people like John Field. Thank God for people like Ray Pfeiffer. Thank God for all of these people who will not let it happen. They responded in 5 seconds. They did their jobs with courage, grace, tenacity, humility. 18 years later, do yours. Thank you.
Few people understand the machinery and the rot of American party politics as well as he does. And the Democratic Party certainly has a major messaging problem. And so, Jon Stewart might just be the translator that it desperately needs.